आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Hello, the question is which of the following is an ecosystem service provided by a natural ecosystem? And the options are first, cycling of nutrients, second, prevention of soil erosion, third, pollutant absorption and reduction of the threat of global warming, and fourth, all of the above. Now, first we should know that what are these ecosystem services. Basically, the product provided by the ecosystem process is the ecosystem services. So we can define it as the product of ecosystem processes are named as ecosystem services. And if it refers to services that are provided by a healthy ecosystem, so we can have n number of items included in it. For example, a healthy ecosystem will purify air for us, then it will help in mitigation of or control of droughts and floods floods, plus it help in nutrient cycling of nutrients. We can add that it is the habitat to the wildlife. It is the habitat to wildlife. Then we can add few more points over here in the services that are provided by a healthy ecosystem, like it acts as a storehouse of carbon. Then it also influence water cycle, that it influence hydrological cycles. Further, it maintains biodiversity, that it maintains biodiversity. Then it is helpful in pollinating our crops, that it pollinate crops, plus it generate a generate fertile soil, and then we can see that these ecosystem services, they have taken really for granted, and then we cannot even try to put a value or a price tag to these services. But then there was a scientist called Robert Constanza, and his team at Robert Constanza et al. They have tried to put a price tag on the nature's life support system, and then the estimated value is near around 33 trillion US dollar 33 trillion per year. And out of the total cost of various ecosystem services, the soil formation account for 50%. Soil formation, it accounts for 50%, and then other services like nutrient recycling and all, it account for 10%, and so, etc. So we can see that the ecosystem services, they are really helpful and they should not be taken for granted. Now, if we look at the questions, we have already discussed what are the ecosystem services that could be provided by a healthy ecosystem. So if we look at the options given to us, A says cycling of the nutrients, which is correct. Prevention of soil erosion, that is also correct. Pollutant absorption and reduction to the threat of the global warming. Like we have seen that it acts as a as a storehouse of carbon dioxide or a storehouse of carbon, which means it absorbs CO2 and then converted into the photosynthesis process, converted into glucose or carbohydrate, which means this is also a correct statement. So by this we have our answer right now. The right answer to the question is going to be option fourth or option D, that is all of the above. I hope this answered the question. Thank you.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT जेई मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।